Setting up myID is the first of four steps to strengthening provider identity. In this session, I will go through the steps to transition to myID and RAM, what is myID and identity strength, how to set up myID, as well as provide a list of resources and supports available to help you throughout this process. There are four steps to transition to myID and RAM. Step 1, setting up myID. Step 2, logging into Relationship Authorisation Manager or RAM and linking your business or businesses in RAM. Step 3, creating authorizations in RAM. And step 4 is staff accepting authorization requests in RAM. In this session, I will focus on step 1, setting up myID. What is myID? myID, formerly known as MyGovID, is an Australian government digital app that you can install on your smart device. It enables you to prove your identity when you are online in a simple and secure manner. Once set up, you can use myID to prove your identity across a range of government services. For more information, please visit the Australian Government's myID page at www.myid.gov.au. The types of identity strengths in myID. There are three levels of identity strength: basic, standard, and strong. After setting up your myID and completing your personal details, you'll begin with the basic identity strength level. To access the NDIS provider portals, the minimum required identity level is standard, which can be obtained using any two of the documents displayed on the screen. For example, a citizenship certificate and a driver's license. If you are a business owner, you must have a strong identity strength, which includes a face verification check. Without this, you will not be able to link the business. RAM will auto assign the role of principal authority when the business is linked. For more information on myID strengths and the identity documents required, visit the Australian Government's myID page at www.myid.gov.au and choose how to set up myID from the options on the top of the page. Setting up myID is mandatory for all provider staff and business owners who need to access the NDIS provider portals. To set up your myID, you will need a smart device. The myID app is compatible with most smart devices such as smartphones and is only available from the Apple App Store or Google Play. You will also need a personal email address. As it's your personal digital ID, your ID documents will be linked to the email that you choose. It should not be a shared or work email address. You need to be 15 years or older, as age restrictions may also apply to use some government online services. And you will need your identity documents. This slide outlines the high-level steps involved in the myID setup process. As shown in the images for steps 1 and 2, you'll need to download and install the myID app on your smart device. Simply follow the on-screen prompts to set up your myID. Once your myID is created, your identity strength will initially be set to basic by default. As previously mentioned, to access NDIS provider portals, all provider staff must achieve a standard identity level. To upgrade your identity strength to standard or strong, simply click the Increase Identity Strength button and follow the prompts to upload the required documents. Please note that business owners are required to reach a strong identity level to link their business and act in the principal authority role. Here are some of the frequently asked questions on myID. What happens if I haven't set up myID by the cutoff date? It is essential for providers and their staff to set up their myID. Please note, after the cutoff date, which will be the end of 2025, you will not be able to authenticate via PRODA to access NDIS provider portals. Can I use a business email address to set up myID? You should always use your personal email to set up your myID, and your myID login details should not be shared with anyone. What happens when the business owner director is an Australian citizen or has permanent residency but is unable to get a passport? Business owners are required to reach a strong identity level to link their business and act in the principal authority role. If the business owner is unable to obtain an Australian passport, they will first need to get to standard identity strength and then contact the RAM support line for next steps and further guidance. Note the phone number for the RAM support line is on the slide. Can my staff share the login credentials to access the NDIS systems? No. Sharing your login details with other staff is considered fraud. Where can I find more information and support? The myID website, which is www.myid.gov.au, contains comprehensive information and resources to support you throughout the transition process. To summarize myID, all provider staff within the provider organization who need access to NDIS provider portals must set up their myID with at least a standard identity strength. You should always use your personal email to set up your myID, and your login details must never be shared with anyone. Business owners are required to have a strong identity strength for their myID strength. There are a number of resources and support for providers for this transition, including the myID website, which is www.myid.gov.au. You can also visit the NDIS website for information on myID, which is www.ndis.gov.au. There is also an individual helpline you can call for myID queries, which is 1300 287 539. This concludes the session.